Hi everyone! Today I am going to be doing one of these two teacups. Now these are in the Small Victories postcard book, and they are part of a page from the Small Victories book. There's one with it's got a teapot and a spoon and two teacups, and I just thought it would be fun to do one of these teacups. I'll do them both in videos, but today we're going to be doing this top one. And whether you've done this in the book or not, I hope it's fun for you. Now I am using my Kohinoor, I'll show you, Kohinoor Polycolor pencils today. Now I'm not expecting that many of you have these. They're not one of the most popular brands of pencils, but I do have some swatch charts well, I have a swatch chart of the set. This is the 36 set, I think, that I was given, which is lovely. And I also have some comparison charts in my Ko-fi, where you can see what equivalent colours are in different brands. And so if you don't have this brand, you don't need it, because you can colour along with a different brand. I'm not going to use the one I just showed you. I'm actually going to use the Bordeaux red. It's printed on a black. It's really hard to read. And it's also so near the top that I'll soon be sharpening it off, which is, some of them I have sharpened the names off. The colours, the number is a bit lower down. I don't have a swatch chart here with the numbers on. But anyway, number 8, look. So Bordeaux red. I'm going to just start with this flower here. I'm just going to work through the flowers and then do the sort of sky and the base, and then we'll think about the cup at the end. So I'm going to put a fairly hard layer here, just layering it up and then fading it out a little bit. We're going to use a different colour on the tip, but I'm just going to take this colour right out. I find that if you do this and take your first colour right to the edge, even though you're going to add another one, it just becomes easier to blend in the other colour, rather than, like, if I stop here, I've got like a line, and then when I put my other colour in there, it doesn't just blend together so nicely. You can try and fade it out before the end like that, but I find that harder, so I just thought I would share my little tip to go all the way to the end. Obviously it means you don't get any of your petal with just the other colour. They're always going to have a little bit of this, but for me that's fine. It just depends what effect you're wanting to get, really. I just find this a little bit easier. Now these are more of a budget pencil, but I rather like them, I have to say. They're not as easy to blend as some other brands. They tend to flatten the tooth in the paper quite quickly, so you can't layer up as many layers, is what I seem to find with these. So it obviously depends on the paper you're using and how smooth it is. If it's a smooth paper, it becomes very difficult to layer them up, but we're just playing around. I'm sure it'll be fine. So here's my first one done. Now I'm going to use what shall I use? I'm quite keen on trying it with this pink. This is the French pink, it's called. Now I did used to have, is this my sheet? Oh, I think I've got it here. Yes, I've got a list here. It's just my handwritten swatch chart. Yes, so the French pink is also called pink in some sets. That's why I looked it up, because I knew something to check. It's got, this sheet's got the numbers on, so if I've sharpened off the names I can find it. So I'm going to start at this end, so, and then blend that into the red. I don't know how, it just makes it, I think it does look, you can tell there's a couple of different colours, but I don't know. Anyway. I was going to give you some news as well of ChromaFlow. I nearly used my ChromaFlow because I was going to be talking about them. This is the Derwent ChromaFlow pencils, but I fancy trying something different for a change. So we're talking about ChromaFlow but not using them. I don't see that matters. I'm going to use a dark purple now for this one. I have this colour. It's bluish violet. Okay. So I've been doing a bit of digging and written to Derwent. In fact, I could have found the answer on their FAQs page. Chroma flow. Now, most people will be aware that they've brought out a 150 set of their pencils, and they previously had a 100 set. And they've also brought out a 28 set to make up their, I think there was the 72, and the 28 makes that up to 100. But I don't know whether that 28 set is the ones that are in the 100 that aren't in the 72, if that makes sense. I've done that a little bit dark. I'm just going to erase it down a bit because it's not giving me the look that I want. So I'm not entirely sure, but I'm thinking of trying to find out and putting together a little chart, because I couldn't find one on their website as to what's included in what. Because personally, I'd like to know what's in their 12 set, their 24 set, their 36 set, their 72 set, the 100 set, the 150 set, and which are available open stock. Because they aren't going to be offering all 150 open stock, only 100. So which ones are missing? Are they key ones? Are they the ones we're going to need? You know, I don't know. So I've actually just sat down on Amazon, had a look at the fact that the 150 set is on sale at £150, and pondered. I've put it in my basket. I've got an Amazon voucher which I won from Pinterest, and I've been spending it on household goods from Amazon, things that I need and things like that, you know. But now I'm just pondering, but the fact that they're not available open stock is so frustrating. But I'm going to definitely put together a chart of what's available where so that everybody knows. But of course I can't swatch it because I don't have the pencils, and it's like, oh, am I just thinking, this is the lavender violet, we're going to do the ends. Am I just using it as an excuse to buy them? Or, you know, do I really need them? Need them? No. Want them? Yes. Ooh. Will the price go up and then I regret it? Maybe. I don't know. So I'm just I've just come through here to make some videos so that I don't buy them. Right, blue. Oh, going to use this really dark blue. I think this is, yeah, indigo blue. So I'm not sure. So yes, it's a dilemma, isn't it? But what I am going to do, I've decided now, talking to you about it, because you're all listening. It's very good, thank you. I am going to make the chart, find out which colour names are included in which tins and what's open stock and what's not. Because when I had a look at the colour range, I mean, obviously I can't swatch them out, but you can see them on the screen. There were some intriguing colours which I was interested in, and if those were available open stock, the ones I think I'm going to use the most, you know, if it's the really pale creams and the pale silvers and you know, pale greys and things like that that aren't available, maybe I won't mind. But if it's the ones I really like, the pretty greens, although the foliage is my favourite, I know that's available open stock. You know, if it's those, then I'm just going to sharpen my next pencil, which is the Mountain Blue. Will it, you know, will that make a difference to my decision? I don't know. So, you know, I'm having a think and pondering. Obviously, I don't need them. I've got plenty of pencils, and I often think I've got too many and I should be using them up. But, oh, I don't know. Okay. Oops, pencils go all squiffy. Right, this last flower, I think it needs to be orange and yellow. Not yellow, orange. I'm going to do the middle's yellow. I know it's a bit, you know, reddish orange, but I'm going to sharpen that. It's far too blunt. We're avoiding green as well. We'll do the leaves in green. So yes, it's in a dilemma. I think because it's my birthday tomorrow, I'm feeling like more inclined to treat myself, and I've got a voucher. So, you know, but really I shouldn't be spending it on myself because we haven't had husband's first reduced paycheck yet. We don't know what's going to come of that, how well off we're going to be. This is the tangerine orange. It's a really nice sort of yellowy orange. I'm going to use it on the tips. So I really should be waiting, but then the price might go up. I might spend my voucher. Maybe that's a good thing. I'm not normally a spendy person, this is the thing. I rarely buy things like this. It's just not me. So it's tricky. Husband told me I should do it, but he's a spender. This is the natural sienna. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom of each flower centre, not right on the edge. And then I'm going to use this. This is the light ochre. And I'm going to put that over the bottom. I'm not going to do it too hard because I want to still see that brown, the natural sienna line. Oh, it's such a dilemma, isn't it? Do you all go through these dilemmas when you're thinking about buying things? Because normally, as I say, I rarely buy things. So I don't. I'm lucky that chrome yellow. You know, these pencils I'm using now, these were given to me. I was so lucky. And then my last set of pencils that I just got, Castle sent them to me, the Castle Arts pencils to review. You know, so I just don't buy things. Now, the ground looks a bit like grassy soil to me. So I'm going to use this colour. Whoops. This is the light olive green, and I think it might be this sort of colour. I also don't want it too dark because we've got, well, I don't want it too vibrant because we've got these leaves in front of it. So I want those to stand out really. And I decided to do this sort of vertical movement because it's grass. So if we can see the lines, it makes perfect sense. So that's why I switched to doing it in this direction. This is such a cute little postcard book. I was having a look through, seeing whether I was going to finish it. But there are a few pictures in here that are very detailed. So I'm not sure whether I can colour them. So I'll have a think. I've always struggled with Johanna's postcards, to be honest. Some of them are just too hard to colour. I'm just going to grab a slightly darker colour. This is the dark olive green. Oh, that's hard to read. I'm just going to sharpen it and put a few dark areas in, not too much. I was thinking here, look, I had a lovely morning. It's actually afternoon now. I don't normally record in the afternoon, but I wanted to I'd always decided that I wanted to do this recording today, so I've got to do it because, you know, that's how my brain works. But I met a friend for actually a cup of tea. We were going to have tea or coffee. I had tea and a natter, a catch up. It's lovely. I haven't seen her since, I'm just going to put a few lines on. I haven't seen her since December. Oh, I did see her the other day in a shop. We had a quick catch up, but properly to sit down, have a coffee and nice chat. I haven't seen her since December. This is the meadow green. I rather like this one. I'm going to use it on these larger leaves here, but just on the base, and then fade. I'm going to fade them all the way to the tip, but just lightly. So that was rather nice. I've known her for years. I've known her for, yeah, 18 years. So yeah, it's lovely. And then I'm going to grab the light here's this one. This is the yellowish green. I'm just going to sharpen. So yeah, we know each other well. You know, her children were all living at home when we first met. Now she's only got one left at home. You know, all lovely. So that was great fun. And I saw somebody else, had a quick catch up with them in the street. You know, just dark green, just nattering in the street, as you do. I'm just going to block this one in because it's just thin, like that. What should we do for these? Yeah, we'll do these. I'm not sure what we're going to do for those leaves in the front. This is the grass green. It says something rather rude on this pencil. Needs sharpening. I'm going to sharpen it away and it won't be so rude then. Maybe you couldn't see it. Maybe if you couldn't, that was a good thing. I don't know. Now, I'm going to fade this a bit too. This isn't going to be my only colour. And here. And then, whoops, oh, this one doesn't want to be picked up. This is the spring green, I think. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Or May green, apparently. It's sometimes called. It's confusing, isn't it, when they have the same name? What I would do is in my description of this video, I will try and remember to write both names so that you can choose, because some sets have different names. It's confusing, isn't it? So those leaves at the front, I've used all my greens apart from the really bluey ones. Excuse me. Oh, which is a really bluey one. It's the, oh no, that's Prussian blue, I think. Colour of that? No, bluish green. It's far too on blue for what I want to do. Oh, but I think I'm going to make it work. I'm going to do it. I want a different colour, so I'm going to use it. So yes, it's going to look quite blue, but we're going to go over it with a different colour to make it change to green. So this is our bluish green. Just exactly the same with these, so more layers near the bottom and less to the tip. It's a really sunny day today. It's so hot in here. It's actually not so hot in here, but in the sitting room, it's boiling. Thing is, the sun, there's a really big French doors in there, so the sun comes in there and really heats up the room. I've got the curtains shut, but obviously the heat still comes through a little bit. This room has only got a small window, and the blind, it's got a blackout blind, well, the curtains are blackout actually, which has been closed all day, so it's not getting much sun. And also my children's computers give off so much heat because they're gaming computers. They seem to give off more heat somehow. I don't know. I don't really understand it. But anyway, I can do that bit in there as well. Right, so we're going to use, whoops, oh, put it in the wrong place. Oh, there we go. I can actually use the this yellowish green, and it should fade it back. But I'm going to use it all over. Like with the others, I only use the colour on the tip, but you can see I use this on all of it. It just turns it into a sort of nice grass green colour. I like that. I couldn't really imagine what it was going to look like, but I knew it would knock back that blue. There's nothing like meeting an old friend, is there? Someone you can talk to about anything, you know. I'll probably talk to her about things I've never spoken to anybody else about at times, so that's rather nice. Now, sky next. We have a paler blue. Do I want the ice? I think I do. Oh, excuse me, yawning away. I think I might just do a ice blue to start with, all over the sky, and then I might put in some darker blue. So I'm not going to press too hard. I just want a layer down, really, to have a look at it and think about what I want to do. and try and colour in sort of circular motion to get it a little bit more even. If you can. Yeah, it was a lovely morning. So it's really hot, which I dislike immensely. Apparently it's not going to stay, thank goodness. I know some people like it hot, and I do apologise to you who wanted hot weather and have been waiting for it, but oh, too hot already. And it's only 21 degrees. My son saying to me last night, you know Mum, it's going to get at least 10 degrees hotter than this when it gets in a few months' time. I was like, ugh, I hope not. I mean, sort of 18 degrees is the hottest I like, really. I think I should go and live somewhere colder, you know. But anyway. It's, yeah, I mean, we don't, it's interesting, isn't it? Because sometimes you do wonder, why don't people move, you know? I mean, we live in a valley and it's not very breezy and it gets humid. So if I lived on top of a hill, it would be cooler. So in a way, maybe that would be a good thing to do. And I wouldn't have to move too far away to do that. I'm just trying to even this out a bit by going over the bits that look extra pale, but I'm not going to worry too much. And now I'm just looking at the edges where I haven't gone all the way up to this flower. But, you know, to move somewhere that's colder, I don't want her to move to a different country. I want to be near my family. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to use the light blue, if I can get it out. I think this is the light blue. Yeah. And I'm going to make it a little bit darker near the ground. And then just sort of fade it off. So to fade it off, you do more layers there, and then less, and then less, and then none. Yeah, so I don't want to move far away from my family, or else I would go up north somewhere. You know, Scotland is much colder than England, for example. Having lived there before for a little bit, it's rather nice. Yeah, it was interesting. I was saying to the person I was talking to today, I was saying how I had the most amazing time when I was in Scotland because I was on my own. I moved out of the family home. I was at uni. I had nobody. This was the key thing. This is white, titanium white. I'm going to do a bit at the top because it's a bit messy. I want to just smooth it out. I do have a blender for these, but I've got no idea where it is. This white isn't working, isn't doing anything. I might just use a different blender. Yeah, I'm going to use, I'm just scribbling my blender on a piece of scrap paper that I have next to me. I was saying to her, part of why it was so good when I was there, I had a few things happen which weren't too nice, but you know, it was mainly really good because I had no responsibility for anybody else but myself. There is no feeling like that. And I said to her, because she's got 2 kids, we'll never have that ever again. You know, we'll never have that no responsibility. Now we're always going to be responsible for someone or something. And as much as being a parent is a most amazing thing, and I'm immensely grateful, and it's something I've always wanted to do, to just have a day of not being responsible. My goodness, imagine. I don't know whether men have the same thing or whether it's just women. I guess they do, but maybe in a different way. Maybe in the way of having to earn the money rather than do the looking after. I don't know. Right, our cup. I want to do our cup in... So I was thinking about doing it in silver, and I don't know why, like it was glass and see-through, but it doesn't have to be, does it? What other colours do we have that we haven't used? We haven't used the sort of scarlet. We haven't got loads of blues, browns, greys. We haven't used much yellow. Got a couple of reds. Got a lot more pink. I know. I'm going to grab this red. This is the pyrole red, also called carmine, but it's quite orangey. We're going to do some of the cup. Very squiff. There we go. The handle. Start with a light layer. Okay, don't press too hard, because we're going to add more layers of this colour. Even if you're going to add layers of a different colour, still don't press too hard, because you might flatten all the tooth of the paper and have no space for another colour. My plan is to make it darker underneath. So, and start by, I'm going to take that all the way up the edge. And I'm hoping that if we make the edges darker, we can make it look a little bit more rounded. And that might help us. Put a bit down there actually. It looks a bit too pale, but hopefully you can see what I'm trying to achieve. So I'm going to go back into those edges and just leave a thinner area in the middle. Particularly up here, it's quite thick, isn't it? And even though that's not completely white, hopefully makes it look like it's got a bit of a shine. That's still too thick. Take it in more. Just gently nibble away at your line until it's the thickness that you want. Now for me that needs some darker pencil on the edges. Now we have already used this colour, the bordeaux red that you can't read, but I'm going to use it again. We used it before with a pink. Hopefully now that I'm using it with a red, it will look different. My idea is for it to just look a bit like, a bit shadowy. It might not really show as a distinct line, which is actually what I'm hoping for. I just want it to make that edge just look a little bit darker. Yeah, oops. And I think when I have a day off, when I have a day at home on my own, that's what I sort of cherish really, is that I've only got myself to look after. Now I do have concerns for what everyone else is getting up to, want to make sure they're okay. Back to our pyrole red and do these here. For these I'm going to go darker at the top here and then just lighten it towards the edge. But just, you know, there's a little bit of out of sight, out of mind, but I do keep in touch with everyone a bit. But I just sort of think if they're either work, lecture, whatever, and they're off, they're there, they're settled there, you know, just not, I don't have to worry about what they're doing. I know where they are. And now I'm going to use this darker one, the bordeaux red, for that little bottom set. And now I'm trying to think what goes with red that I can do for the rest of the cup. I was thinking red and white originally when I picked up the red, but that's, I want to colour it. I don't want it white, I want to have a go, I want to colour every bit. So what should we use? There might be another red. Actually, we haven't used this red. Let's use this red. This is the scarlet red. Let's use this. I'm going to use it first on the bottom. This for me is an easier bit, and I feel like it should be a little more, a little darker here, maybe lighter towards the centre. I go to that end so that I can even it out without having to count all the all of these to make sure it's right. There we go. And then we're going to do this bit. I'll do it fairly dark at the bottom. How should I do it? I think I might just fade it all the way up. It's quite bright, a red cup, isn't it? Just want it to be lighter, so this top bit lighter. Like that. See how it pans out. Just trying to remember what. Oh, I used the blender for the sky, didn't I? Wondering if I need it for this a little bit. Oops. Jollily going out of the lines. Now this set of pencils do smudge a little bit. They also, if you're not careful, they will smudge the black lines, which the Prismacolor blender does as well, which I'm just going to use on the top. But the most pencils don't. It's quite strange. So because I don't want this to be too much more intense, rather than colouring over again to even it out, use my blender instead. There we go. Now, we haven't quite finished. I'm just going to put my pencils aside. We've got these dots in the sky. Now for me that looks like magic, so I'm going to use my sparkly Stardust glitter pens to produce that magic. And I'm just trying to decide on the colour. Could use white actually, because we've got a lot of colour going on. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use white. Sorry, changed my mind. There we go. I can use white. And if it doesn't show up, I will use the glitter. But I think it will. Now, we've got black dots around here, but I'm quite liking those. I'm going to add my own white dots rather than dotting on top of the black. It doesn't show up hugely because we've got a blue sky, but I am going to do some dotting around here as well. I quite like doing it around the centre of the flowers. I might put a bit on the flowers as well in a minute. Okay, some banging around outside. Very nosy. I might have to go and have a look. I'm going to dot just down the centre. I know flowers don't have dots, but now this one I'm going to follow Johanna's lines. So put those lines in, and then she's got a dot at each end like that, which I can pop in. And then these, I think I'm just going to put a little circle around. This one will do them on the top. I just want them all to be a little bit different. It's nice to have a little bit of white on each one. I might put a bit of a shine here, here, here. It doesn't show up hugely, but that's okay. Put a little bit there. I can hear an aeroplane. They all sound really loud on a summer's day. I mean, it's not summer, but you know what I mean, on a sunny day, and I don't know why. Anyway, that's the first cup done. So I'm going to finish now, and I will do the other one as well in another video for you. But for now, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment. That would be very much appreciated. And as I said, there is a swatch chart for these pencils, and I think a couple of comparison charts as well. So I think there's one that compares these colours to Prisma and Polly's. Can't quite remember, I was looking at them this morning, but you know, memory. I've been out since then, so you know. But they might be handy for you, so have a look out for those. I'll put the links in the description. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Have a very happy day and happy colouring.